tips for healthy eating on the go. The first tip is make a meal plan before you go grocery shopping. This is really important because I don't know about you, but when I walk into the supermarket, I don't suddenly become a chef. I don't suddenly say, oh, I'm going to have this great idea and just create like filet mignon with like whipped mashed potatoes. It doesn't happen to me. I'm not a chef before I went to the supermarket. I'm not a chef after I get in the supermarket. So I go, I'm in a rush. I have no idea what to buy. I end up in the frozen section. I buy a loaf of frozen gluten-free bread and I call it a day. I go home. And that means 2 or 3 days later, when I'm ready to cook, I open up the fridge and there's nothing there besides gluten-free toast. And so I end up having a piece of toast, which is not very nutritious. And for some of you, it might be a brownie, it might be a cookie, but it's definitely not in line with what you had planned. So what you need to do is go to the supermarket prepared. We give our patients very specific recipes. And so I want you to take your favorite recipes, whatever works for your plan. And when you make your shopping list, it needs to say half a cup of strawberries, a cup of almond milk, really specific. So when you go to buy it, you buy enough for what you need for your recipes. So when you end up at home 2 or 3 days later, ready to cook that meal, guess what? You have everything ready. Let's move on to tip number 2. Pack your snacks. Pack your snacks. It's that easy. I have my lunch here, and then I have dinner at home. And there's that space and time between lunch and dinner, and I'm going to have a snack. But don't do what some of us do. We wake up in the morning and we're like, you know what? I'm not going to pack a snack. I'm not going to be hungry today. Magically today around 4 o'clock, I'm not going to be hungry. And then what happens? At 4 o'clock, you're hungry. And then you turn around and one of your coworkers is having a chocolate covered something. And before you know it, you're having 1, 2, you're having the whole bag. And then you're off your diet again. So pack your snacks. Know that you're going to be a snacker. Pack it. Get ready. Pack it in a box. Pack it in your car. Pack it in your socks. Pack it in your bra. Whatever you need to do, just bring your snacks with you because you're going to get hungry. Okay. Tip number 3. Bring your leftovers to work. Okay. When I was a kid, I hated leftovers. If my mom brought out leftovers, oh my God, I'm going to say it again. Insert eye roll here. I'm not eating it. But now I love leftovers. Okay. They're my favorite. So whenever I cook, whenever my wife cooks, I'm not going to lie, I don't cook. Whenever my wife cooks, she always makes extra. And then as soon as dinner is served, I take out my Tupperware and I pack a lunch. And this helps in 2 ways. First, it helps me pack my lunch so that tomorrow morning when I wake up and I'm in a rush, I don't have to worry about lunch. It's already set to go. But the other thing that it does is that it reduces the amount that's available to me for dinner because I'm somebody who finishes everything in the pan. So by removing those servings for lunch, I have less to eat for dinner. And so doing that helps me at dinner and it helps me at lunch the next day. Tip number 4, check the menu before you go. It's all right there on the website. Okay. Make your plan before you go to the restaurant. You don't want to make a decision when you're sitting there and everyone's ordering up a storm and now you're super hungry. And then, the other part of your brain starts to take over. Prepare. Know what you want. If you happen to be at the restaurant with somebody who's on your journey, ask the server not to bring the bread, not to bring the breadsticks out or the chips. But if you are with people who are not on your journey, that's okay. Let them enjoy the chips. But sometimes just knowing that you already know what you're going to have helps you stay a little bit focused until your meal comes. Moving on to tip number 5, and this one is my favorite. Plan your cheat meals. Plan your cheat meals because, you might say to yourself, what do you mean cheat meals? We're supposed to stay clean. It is really important to plan your cheat meals because who doesn't want pizza? We all want pizza, but the trick is to plan it. So for example, for me, every Friday night, my wife and I go out to a local restaurant and we are not staying on the diet. And the reason that actually helps me in 2 ways. One, it gives you a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because it's really hard to just be good all the time, whatever good means. So knowing that you have a cheat day planned kind of gives you strength to get through the week. And if you don't need the cheat day, that's great, but planning it helps. But the other thing is, if you have a really crummy day and you're like, you know what, this guy right here on your shoulder says, you know what, you really deserve a box of Oreos today. You can say, I think that's a great idea. The box of Oreos sounds really good, but you know what? I have a cheat day plan on Friday night and I'm going to keep that. And sometimes just having that in place can help you talk to this guy on your shoulder. Maybe he's on this shoulder, but either way, it helps you calm him down and say, thanks, I appreciate the Oreo suggestion, but I'm going to wait till Friday night. Try it out.